I am Supreme, and today's Astro Oracle investigation will be on Reverend Carol Faye Dunlap Daniels, who was 61 years old. Carol Daniels was found dead August the 23rd, 2009. She was murdered inside the Christ Holy Sanctified Church in Anadarko, Oklahoma. She was found by a bishop and his wife. Her clothes were taken, her hair was burned, and she was stabbed repeatedly and positioned in a crucifix pose. This reading is a suggestion from one of my subscribers and viewers, Donnie Mack. Please forgive me if I mispronounced your name. I do appreciate when my subscribers and viewers suggest content and readings, and I definitely add your suggestions to my itinerary. What happened to Carol Faye Dunlap Daniels? That's a crucial way to die. And I'm going to get down to the bottom of this today. I've had time to sit in the energy of this crime. I've had time to sit in the energy of Carol Faye Dunlap Daniels. I've had time to sit in the energy of her charts while information came to me and my intuition began to speak while I was overlooking the signs, picking up on energies, just tapping into the whole energy of this crime. So, I am a high-ranking oracle, and you are about to witness a high-ranking oracle reading. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you will be notified when I drop my investigations. There's not a lot of media coverage on this case, and there's not a lot of information on this case. Very limited information, and that's perfectly okay because I am well tuned in to the energy of this reading, and I can't wait to pull cards because we're going to bring clarity today and justice for Reverend Carol Faye Dunlap Daniels and her family. So, the news reached out to Carol's family, but the only one who responded was her son. And he stated, I don't really have one. When they asked him, what is your opinions? What would you like to say? And do you have, he was like, I don't really have one. The case was mishandled from the beginning. These are words from her son. The case was mishandled from the beginning, and I don't believe law enforcement is even looking for anyone. Sounds familiar. Definitely sounds familiar. Carol Faye Dunlap Daniels drove 60 miles every Sunday from her Oklahoma City home to Anadarko to preach and teach God's love to all who came and showed up. Why would someone want to murder an individual who comes to teach and preach God and love? And why would they want to murder them in the house of the Lord? That is supposed to be a holy house. So all the people who worship and whose faith is in their God, their belief, they're Christians, Catholics, whoever they are, whoever they are. People go to church and they find God in their own way. I'm not here to judge, because one thing that I've learned is never touch someone's faith, because the very faith that they have, it may not be in the God or the understanding that I want them to have or you want them to have, but whatever they believe in, it's keeping them out of trouble. It's saving them. So whatever it is and whatever that looks like to them, we should leave it alone and respect it. So I respect anybody's faith, whether you're Catholic, Christian, Muslim, whatever. I don't judge. I respect whatever's keeping you alive, well, whatever's keeping you safe, whatever's keeping you out of trouble, or whatever it is that you've been seeking God for. I've learned to never touch that, because you don't know what you're touching. You could be touching something that next thing you know, you start confusing people, and now they're back to their old ways because you done tampered with the very little thing. It's big to them, but you tamper with the only faith that they have that's keeping them sane. So today, I want to find out who would do something like this. And I'm going to find out. And y'all are going to watch me find out. And when y'all see me find out, I want you to share, like, and comment, and share this video. Especially share it, because somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows about this case and that knows Carol's family. This reading is going to bring them to justice. Let's go to the charts. Reverend Carol Daniels was born October 26, 1947. The sun was in Scorpio and the moon was in Pisces. And y'all know how I formulate time. Time is the sun divided by moon cycles. So when you put a Pisces moon in Scorpio's house, which is the 8th house, Leo is rising. Leo comes first. This is Carol Daniels' birth chart energy. Okay? Leo comes first. Leo is the energy of children. Leo is the energy of romance, celebrations, entertainment. Leo is the energy of rulership, royalty, pride. So, where is Carol at in her birth chart? Because she is a Scorpio. Carol is right here in the 4th house of home and family. Scorpio is the energy of transition, transformation, death, sharing, shared resources. It's the energy of sex, Kundalini energy. It is the energy of secrets, darkness. So when Scorpio is in the 4th house, when this energy is in the house of family, we have to look for where Cancer is, because this is Cancer's house. Cancer is in Carol's 12th house. The 12th house is the house of enemies, things that you cannot see clearly. And whatever energy is here, this is Pisces' house. And whatever energy is in Pisces' house represents what is not clear to you. This is why we attribute this house to the house of enemies and things that you don't know. They say what you don't know can hurt you. Right. But what you don't know can also kill you. Cancer is the energy of home and family and the mother. This is a sign that Carol had enemies in her own family. And what kind of enemies were these, and what were they capable of in her own family? Let's look at where Pisces is at. Pisces, because this is Pisces' house. Pisces is over here in the house of death. This is Scorpio's house. What is Pisces doing there? The energy that comes from these hidden enemies in her family. Domestic. Her hidden enemies have a domestic nature. It doesn't always have to be somebody from her own family. This can be someone else's family. A family setting, period. When Pisces is in the house of death, Pisces is the most spiritual energy that we have. It is the most non-physical energy in us. This type of death is a sacrificial death. She was literally laid out like the crucifix, like the cross. She was laid out like Christ on the cross with stab wounds everywhere. Who crucified Carol? Because that is what Pisces energy is. Pisces represents sacrifice, compassion. But when those qualities are not developed like they should be, they turn into shadows that represent enemy forces that did not want to learn compassion. They did not want to sacrifice. So all of that compassion and sacrificial energy, when it's not developed and brought into the first house, exposed, it becomes shadows. And these particular shadows lurked in the domestic energy of Carol. Let's find out what comes first the day Carol was found dead. August 23rd, 2009. The sun was in Virgo and the moon was in Libra. When you put a Libra moon in Virgo's house, which is the 6th house, Taurus is rising. Taurus is the energy of money. This is a second house chart. Money, material possessions. Taurus is the earth sign. It represents the 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. And everything that we manifest through these senses, everything that looks good, sounds good, tastes good, smells good, it represents the euphoria of material security and all the things of the earth. All the things of Mother Earth. It also represents self-esteem and value. Why is Taurus coming first? This is the money energy. Where was Taurus at in Carol's birth chart? Because that will let us know why it's coming first. Because that's where we need to start. Taurus is right here in Carol's 10th house. The 10th house is the house of success, image, status. Carol was a reverend. She had status in that church. This was her status. And it had a lot to do with Taurus energy. So something about this financial material security status of this reverend is coming first the day she was found dead. Now, the day she was found dead, what's actually in the house of position and status? Because that's where we look next. Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the energy of group membership. And we're talking about a church and a reverend. So Aquarius also in that energy would represent the congregation. Are y'all following me? If not, I have a tutorial video in the link below all of my readings where it is a timestamp video where you can click on any sign any house number and any planet that you hear me talk about or pull in any of my cards, and I give you a general meaning of what that sign means when you see it, and what that house number means, and what that planet means. So that way, when you see that sign show up inside of a specific house, influenced by a specific planet, you will see how I formulate my story. This is the congregation. So, do we need to be looking for someone in the congregation? Let's find out. The ninth house is the house of churches. That is the house of reverends. She was found by the bishop and the bishop's wife. That is the house of bishops. That is the house of church figures, period. That is the house of church. Higher knowledge, wisdom, understanding, belief systems, religion. That is all ninth house. So being that this is a reading about a reverend that was found dead in a church, we're going to zoom in on this ninth house activity. In Carol's ninth house, we see Aries. Aries represents the self. And when it's in the ninth house, this represents the higher self, because the ninth house is the higher octave of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It is the higher octave of knowledge, which is wisdom. So Aries represents the self. So this is the higher self. Now, Carol has a Leo rising. So Leo rising represents sovereignty. She had an energy that represented her higher self. That's what she stood up for. That's why she was a reverend. This is Sagittarius's house. Now, where's Sagittarius at? Sagittarius is over here in the fifth house. That's Leo's house. So remember, Leo represents children. So when Leo comes first, could this be one of her children in the congregation? Because the reverend is also like a church mother too. It doesn't have to be her birth children, but I'm clearly seeing that could this be somebody in her congregation? And it just may not just be a children. Leo also represents romance. This could be somebody she had a romantic encounter with, and then shit went left. But I'm seeing a strong congregation energy. The day Carol was found dead, look what's in the house of death. Sagittarius. This is the church energy. This is somebody from the church. And look in the 10th house, the member. This is somebody from the congregation. This is somebody from the congregation that was hiding, a hidden enemy. You know how I know that? Because in Carol's house of death, you see Pisces. The day Carol was found dead, look where Pisces is at. In Aquarius's house. This is Aquarius right here, the congregation in the 10th house. This is who was hiding in the congregation. This 9th house Aries energy, this individual that was hiding, is right here, hiding the day she was found dead in the 12th house. You can't make this shit up. Let's follow Mars to elaborate on this individual that's hiding, because Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars, the day Carol was found dead, was in Gemini. Gemini is the local environment. Gemini is the energy of the sibling. Gemini is the energy of school. And if Gemini is in church, that represents Sunday school. Sunday school, Sunday school children. The congregation is at the top of the house. It is in a position of authority. So, Leo is at the bottom, at home. This is how I know this is a church home. This is a domestic situation involving the church home. So, Mars led us to Gemini. But where did Mars come from? It came from Aries, but I'm talking about where did it come from in Reverend Carol's energy. Her Mars is in Leo, right here at the home. So this Gemini in the house of money, because Taurus is actually coming first. This is Taurus's house, the second house. But Taurus is in the first house. The red always represents whose house it is. You see Taurus right there? Taurus and the second house. Gemini is there. The black represents who's there. The red represents whose house it is. Taurus is actually in the first house. That's Aries' house. And Aries is hiding in the 12th house of the hidden. Because Aries is from the church, the 9th house. That's Sagittarius' house. Sagittarius is the energy that governs her death. It was a death. It was literally, somebody literally crucified Carol in church. You can't make this up. Who did this to you? Carol Daniels. Who killed Carol Daniels? August 23rd, 2009. Who killed Carol Daniels? Born October 26, 1947. She was found dead in a church crucifixion style. August 23rd, 2009. In Anadarko, Oklahoma. Who is responsible for the death of Carol Daniels? Energy don't lie. Y'all ready for this? Who is responsible for the death of Carol Daniels? A lover in the 10th house. This is somebody in that congregation. This was somebody in that congregation. Remember, we went over this. This is the congregation. This is somebody that was hiding. They could have been hiding this love affair, right? This lover in the 10th house was after her for her money. Because look what's in her 10th house. Taurus. She was the one who had the money. She was the one who had the security. She had the funds. But I believe this person had hidden motives. This person knew that she was getting all of these funds. Now, lovers can be found in the 7th house of Libra because that is the lover's card in the tarot. But the Oracle Lovers card still is the same information as Libra, right? Now look in the 7th house where Libra's house is. Look what you see in Carol's chart. Somebody from the congregation in her house of lovers. That's how we know this card right here that showed up in the 10th house of status and authority in the church is from the congregation. We know where her body is, so we don't have to look for her body. Okay? But what we will do is we will give Carol a voice so she can talk about it. Tell us, Carol Daniels, tell us what happened. Tell me what happened to you and who did this to you so we can bring justice to your family and your loved ones, your church family and your biological family. You know what else I saw in the charts too? I also saw a group home. You know, churches are good for sponsoring group homes for people who need places to go. Maybe there was a run-in at this home between her and somebody at the home. Maybe this actual member lived in one of the houses that the churches financed. What happened to you, Carol Daniels? Who did this to you? I'm going to pull 3 cards. 3 cards, Carol. 3 cards. Who did this to you? Talk to me in 3 cards. Who did this to you? 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We have the 5th house. We have the 4th house, the domestic house, home. We have the 5th house. This is Leo's house. And remember, Leo is rising in Carol's chart. Then we have Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Gemini represents the local environment, the neighbor, the sibling. Okay? The Gemini was also the Sunday school energy. Okay? Let's remember, Gemini led us to the house of money. Okay? Now, where's Virgo? Because Virgo rules Mercury as well. Virgo is right here in the 5th house. That's why she pulled the 5th house. What is Carol telling us? You see it for yourself. She pulled the 5th house card. That's Leo's house. This is somebody. And it may be somebody a lot younger than her. Virgo energy in the 5th house of children. What kind of children? Well, in her energy, this is considered the church house children. Because look, Sagittarius, which is the energy of the 9th house in churches, is in Carol's 5th house. So in her energy, this is a church child. Energy from her congregation. This is somebody from her congregation. The 4th house. Why did the 4th house come out? Because the day Carol was found dead, this is where she was. In the 4th house. This is somebody from her home. I believe that church has different homes. If it's not somebody from her home, if it's somebody from her home, it could be her own child. But if not, this is somebody from her home or that church home or one of those group homes that they sponsor, because this 4th house would not have came out. Now, in Carol's 4th house, what do you see? Scorpio, right? Scorpio is the energy of death, sex, shared resources, right? Now, the Lovers card came out. And remember, Lovers is from the 7th house. So we know that this lover is somebody from the congregation. But how about the day she was found dead? Look what's in the seventh house. Scorpio. That same lover she was sharing the funds with. Fucking around with. That Scorpio energy. Everybody don't have the same intentions. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. In Carol's chart, Gemini is in the house of the members, the church members. One of the church brothers. Gemini's energy of brotherhood, and so is Aquarius. Gemini is the literal sibling. Aquarius is the brother from another mother. It could have been a sister too, brother or sister. And Mercury is right there in the congregation. Now, where's Virgo? Right here in the house of money. Why does that make a difference? Because look what's in the second house the day Carol was found dead. Gemini. Look how the dots connect. That brother from another mother, sister from another mother, right there in the house of money. This is a second house chart. Taurus is rising. Taurus is rising. This was about the money. This was about her money. And that's why somebody from the congregation did it. They need to question everyone that was a member of that church at the time that she was found dead. And I promise you, if they give everybody in that church a polygraph test that's on that roster, somebody gonna fail. Many are gonna come out inconclusive. And just to top it off, I'm gonna pull another chart. I'm gonna pull from the charts. I'm gonna let Carol pull a chart. Elaborate on this death. Carol Daniels, bring us closer. Let's zoom in on this individual from the congregation. Help us locate somebody that's still alive and well today, Carol. Today is October the 28th, 2025. Help us zoom in to somebody today that's alive and well that can be caught. Ooh, she about to show out now and pull this chart. I made my intention and now energy goes to work. It's all in the hands. Watch this. Look at that. You can't make this fucking shit up. Aries, that individual from the ninth house, from the church. That individual just might be an Aries. Somebody born in April. Yep, that individual just might be an Aries. Somebody born in late March, early April. Because when Aries comes first, it's in the first house. Duh, Aries is rising. Aries comes first. Look at that. Aries in the first house. And what's in the house of death? There go that Scorpio again. Right? Every sign is at home in its own house. That's letting us know that everything I went over is aligned. Aries, this individual just might be an Aries. Somebody in that congregation that is born in late March, early April. You see it for yourself. Aries. That's the first thing we looked at pretty much in her chart. In the ninth house, that person is from that church. That person is from that church. It was I feel like it was somebody younger though, because Mars rules Aries. Okay. And Carol's Mars is in Leo. And Leo was at home in the house of children. Right there. Mars that day that she was found dead was in Gemini, one of the children in the local environment. Yeah. This was somebody she was fucking around with or wanted to fuck around with her. And they was a lot younger than her. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to leave this reading at that. That is my reading on Carol Daniels, and I'm sticking to it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button again. Y'all be blessed.